Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the NNPP TV political program. Today, we have been able to meet Dr. Sani Saidu, Director of Student Matter for presidential and gubernatorial campaign of Dr. Rabi Musa Konkosu and Engineer Abba Kabir Yusuf. Doctor, I have a lot of questions for you. Um, in this current administration, students are deprived the rights to education because of ASU strike. What package did your party have for the student?
Thank you very much, Chiroma, for inviting me to this important TV platform. Indeed, not quite long ago, students have resumed to their various campuses due to ASO strike. They remained at home for like 8 months. But the essence or the backbone of that strike was underfunding of federal universities by federal government, which triggered or compelled ASU to embark on strike, lasted for 8 months, and students, of course, were disenchanted, disappointed, and of course, they lost appetite and confidence in government and politicians. However, with what engineer Dr. Rabi Musa Kwankwaso has brought through his blueprints and what Abba Gida Gida has unveiled in his blueprints, it's quite promising. And students witnessed a lot of packages when Engineer Rabi Musa Kwankwaso was a governor of Kano State from 2011 to 2015. They were sponsored abroad for foreign scholarships, most of whom now more than thousands are now PhD holders, some even associate professors. Among Konkosia scholars, there, some of them are now most cited scholars in Nigerian academia, the young academics. And Konkoso initiated various institutions, hospitality, and so on. So, of course, this incessant strike, it's a source of worry. But for students of Kano State and Nigeria at large, looking at NNPP will serve as a kind of confidence or a ground for them to vote for Rabi Musa because he has pledged that he is not going to only improve funding of education, but also make the system of education works for everyone in the country. The era has gone under Rabi Musa Kwankwaso and Abba Gida Gida administration, where the children of the have-not will not have access to public institutions. He has said it, JAM star will be more than 1 year, and JAM, NICU, and NAPTEP will be free. What else do you want? And there's going to be check and balances in the university system. Funding, administration. So what else do we? So students have reasons whatsoever to vote for Abba Gida Gida, and they are waiting to vote for Rabi Musa Kwankwaso, our reps. And I always say this: Engineer Rabi Musa Kwankwaso has made it clear to all our reps and senators that there is going to be a unanimous and a uniform bill or a kind of decision to increase funding for public university in Nigeria, to improve the workings and conditions of service of the lecturers.
Doctor, people are of the belief that Nigeria is facing a very serious challenge in the economic sector and virtually the security sectors. So this is why people sees that all these plans, all these blueprint that your party unveil, the federal government doesn't have the money to, pay or sponsor these projects. Looking at the fact that this issue of debt services and everything, the government cannot be able to finance all these projects. What plan did you have to source funds to service all these projects?
Thank you very much for this, of course, challenging question. While question of economy, Engineer Rabi Musa Kwankwaso in his blueprint has made it clear that one of the basic things he will do to make sure our economy works is one, is not going to fight corruption, but also to prevent corruption. And we know you can't budget 12, 13 trillion and allow only 3 4 trillion to work in the system and 9 trillion go to other individuals and say the system is not working, it will never work. So the question is, if as an individual or as an accountant general or as a public service holder, one is able to squash and take away at least 170 billion naira. So then, of course, we'll be crying no money, no money to run the economy. So I think the economy has to do with what we produce to earn a dollar, that is to take away our economic system from being consumer based to production based. And that's what Engineer Rabi Musa Kwankwaso will do. He did it in 2011 when he came on board. There was a Boko Haram attack. The economy of Kano collapsed. The source of revenue, he introduced local treasury, single treasury account in Kano. He reinvests in human capital. He blocked leakages in the civil service. Before you know, in 1 or 2 years, he was able to raise a lot of money to the extent that he couldn't even borrow money to run the affairs of Kano State then. So that's what he would do. In terms of, for example, fuel subsidy, that we always trying to say that we spend 1 point something trillion. When I was in China, there was a time some foreign student asked me, we heard that your country is one of the largest producer of oil in not only in the country or in Africa or in the world, yet you import refined petroleum. I say, yeah, this is unacceptable for a serious government. If Dangote, as a private individual, can build a refinery that will not only serve Nigerian masses or consumption, but also export, why not Nigerian government? So the question of interface between public and private sector is a source of worry. If we want to create system that will benefit the majority of the people, then the system will not work for the few elites. It will not for the generality of Nigerians. That's what Engineer Rabi Musa Kunkoso has said. That is a bit socialist capitalist system that is mixed, not purely capitalist system where you sell all the Nigerian properties to few individuals at the detriment of the total masses. The argument is this quickly. I have been to China, I've been to Malaysia, to Abidjan, Cote d'Ivoire, and so on. The question is not that we don't want to be capitalist system in the 21st century. No, this is 21st century Africa or Nigeria, but we are living in the 17th or rather 16th century Europe or England. So you can see overhead bridge in England now and trying to copy it when 90% of your workforce or people have no education, have no water, have no food, have no access to employment. How do you think you live in the 21st century? So the reverse will be the case. That is to invest in human capital, give these young people education, stop stealing their money, let them come on board so that when we develop, I was told by one British when I participate in Lagos in one British Council Young for Tomorrow program, he told me, you cannot build country if you don't build its people. It's when you build, invest in human capital. So the people, when they are okay educationally, financially, in terms of food, in terms of environment, then they will think and invest in the country. And all these I have said are what are in Engineer Rabi Musa Konkoso's blueprint. You can go and verify.
What is your party plan to solve the problem of out of school children? What is the plan of your party?
Out of school children is another issue. As I've said it now, you have 1.6 every year, almost 1.7 million candidates sit for JAM. But if you go and check the statistics, all Nigerian universities, including private, could not admit more than 800,000. We every year have leftover of at least 1 million candidates who could not be absorbed in Nigerian universities. They are out of school children. Kids, go and check our primary schools. But the question is that I'm not saying to be like I'm sense or I'm clean or no. What I'm saying is that if we really want to build a system that works for people, let's work for everyone. Meaning, I would not, simply because I'm a local government chairman or simply because I'm a governor, I will be given money like, or I will create sources, or the system will create sources that I will enrich myself to the extent I will reach billions. Whereas my simple primary school cannot get 10 million. But when a governor could finish with a little bit miserable or poorly or a little comfortable system that does not give him avenue to steal and embezzle public property, but you have 90 to 80% of the resources allocated for our economy, education go to that, you have out of school children. They are out of school because there is no money. It's in the few people that will build schools, we employ teachers, provide learning materials. We don't have that money because it's in the hands of the few elites, in the hands of us. But when we allow the system, generally human being is not sent. We are all egoistic, we are all egocentric. But what I notice, when you create a system that will block human being from stealing or embezzling, that system will work. But simply because I read, or I'm a religious somebody, or I'm a comrade, or this and that, and I'll be given a system that is so free. System deny me all my lawful gains, but allow me to siphon money, then of course you cannot deprive, you cannot get system working. But when you create a system that will not allow you to steal, so definitely there were people that are really of good character, of integrity, that are honest, that will run the system. And those that have this tendency of stealing people money will walk out of politics.
Doctor, what are your message for young people and students, especially the good people of Kano State and Nigeria?
Well, there are three people now, serious contenders, all four. Kwankwaso, Peter Obi, Tinubu, and Atiku. Tinubu said running for presidency is his lifetime ambition. This is ridiculous. It's, Atiku said one time he met BOT members of PDP before he was elected candidate that this is my last chance and your last chance. If we are not given this time around, we'll be out of the system. It's laughable. Now the question is that between Peter Obi and Kwankwaso, it's up to us. Obi's record is there. Fake statistics and emotionally engaged campaigns, sentimental and regional. Go and check Kwankwaso. All he said could be checked in Kano State history from 11 to 15. He has done it and he is willing to do it. He's healthy, very energetic, vibrant, intelligent. I call Kwankwaso one of the psychologically cunning politician of this era because of his fickleness of the brain and how it works. Very vibrant, very focused and sharp. Like Kwankwaso, like Messi, like Kwankwaso, like Mbappe. Go and check.
So, Doctor, what confidence do you have that your party will emerge in the 2023 general election?
My philosophy of life is I don't take emergence doesn't mean be in power. That one belongs to God in total. He gives whom he wants. But what I mean by emergence is we are out and we are telling people what we have for them. We have already emerged. It's just for them. Inna hadainakum sabila imma shakiran wa imma kafuran. God has guided them between black and white. It's up to the masses to choose. If they choose my party, Konkosa and Abba Gida Gida, it's up to them. But I know, really, you cannot compare Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I'm not discrediting him. I'm not saying he's bad. No, I don't have that campaign issue. But check their record, track record, their antecedents, their own physical health, their own knowledge of the country, and so on. Check Atiku. If you're comparing Atiku and Kwankwaso, compare them in terms of ideology. Who is capitalist, who is socialist? What is socialism, what is capitalism? Or who has mixed tendency? Or some people may argue even Kwankwaso is capitalist. Well, you can argue from that perspective. But what I'm saying, who has the ability to dwell into the capital system and carry the masses along? That is the question now. We are not looking for a leader. We are not saying we are looking for a leader that is 100% socialist. No, we can't have it in the 21st century. But can we have a leader that can master the system of capitalism and give masses breathing air? Only Congress. And you can check.
Thank you very much, Dr. Sani Saidu. Please, I would like to ask you, what is your message to the NNPP TB and the Konkosia Youth Awareness Network, Kano, who sponsored this program? What is your message for this organization for their animal support to the development of the NNPP in Kano and Nigeria entirely?
Well, I think it's a very good initiative. Before even we start, I have told you that one of the uniqueness and quality of Confucia is having young, innovative, and vibrant youth who are very innovative and resourceful and creative in nature. Young people that you see, you told me you're an accountant. The other person is also an accountant, this educationist or humanist. But then you are into journalism. That's concosia. Dynamism. Meaning, you can't wait that I read biology, I'm going to teach biology or work in the lab. No, this is 21st century. I think that is one of the characteristics of concosia, being dynamic, creative, resourceful, and very vibrant in pursuing the 21st century goals. I think NNPP TV and this network for youth awareness is doing a wonderful job for concosia, and I know all the elders of Konkosia are aware of this. These are the young people that champion the cause of Konkosia, meeting people at their doorstep and take the issues to the grassroots and interview people. Hear the people's problem, take to the leaders. That's the essence of journalism. And at the expense of their pockets. This is selfless service to the society, not only to Konkosia. And I think it's a service that needs to be acknowledged by the Concosia elders. And of course, I know even our leaders from Madugu to Abba Gida Gida, don't want to Dogwa, they are all aware of this wonderful job you guys have been doing. Thank you very much once again. May God bless all of us.
Thank you very much, Dr. Sani Saidu, Director, Student Matters for the NNPP Presidential Campaign Council.
Thank you.